Alright, so now that the ban list is out, the format is going to change and a lot of stuff happened on the market. So I figured we would do a card market watch and go through all of the changes and mention some of the cards that you probably should be picking up or staying away from just for the time being, because they are like at an insane price point for no particular reason other than the hype post ban list, and you probably shouldn't be buying into the hype. If you have any of your ideas as to which cards people should be offloading or picking up, make sure to share them in the comments down below. And if you like the video, please make sure to like it. It really helps the channel, and make sure to ding the bell so you're always notified when I post. Also make sure to check out everything in the description box below, including the Patreon link, and also card market. Get your cards on there if there are any last minute pickups you want to do, or if you want to get rid of some cards. So looking at the first thing, the first one, the most obvious one we need to discuss today is Danglong. Like, look at this hype, this spike. Like, if you don't want to have Danglong right now, I suggest just waiting a tiny bit, because from what I've been hearing, people aren't as convinced as to how Danglong is going to perform in some decks. So if you look at it, it's about 16-17 euros for some of the foreign prints, and there are a couple English copies as well. Like, you can get the card if you want. However, you can also wait to see what people come up with, or if you're labbing any kind of combos yourself, you can really decide for yourself. It does have potential, but we'll see what happens in the next meta. But like, this spike was just insane, very expected as well, but like, you maybe just want to get rid of it if you don't feel like playing it. And together with that, there is also the Chiwen, which of course with the printing of 2015 Megatin Mega Pack, it is about the same price as Danglong. So this is definitely something you should be getting rid of, at least in my opinion. I don't know if Chiwen specifically is going to see some play. It's kind of insane actually, about 20, 21, 22 euros even. So like, I don't know. Maybe there's something there that I don't know about yet. Please, if there is, make sure to share it in the comments down below. But let's move on to some of the other cards. So I wanted to mention Engage, and this is of course the ultra rare printing. The secret rare one is going to be more expensive, but I just wanted to showcase that if you want to play Sky Striker and have like a decent rarity, which an ultra rare is decent, you can have, you can have 2 copies for about 40 cents. So it's not bad, but you can, however, if you want, just invest into the secret rare one, which the one from Dark Saviors is about 10-11 euros. So if this is a deck you want to play, you can have it in high rarity, but like, you're going to have to spend a tiny bit of money. And moving on to Linkage, Linkage also went up, and this is another one of those cards where you probably should have it as soon as it came out, because if Engage came back, and pretty much everything that happened right now is something we could have probably predicted when Linkage dropped. So, about 13 euros for a card that used to be about 5. It's saying a lot about the Sky Striker hype, but also Sky Striker does have some potential moving forward. So like, if you want, you can keep them, you can play them, you can get them if you're willing to spend about almost 30 euros for a couple copies, or you can just, wait and see if the price drops a bit. Then I also wanted to cover Wannabe, not because of the price, although it's about 20 cents. Which is nothing, but still, if you want to play a trap deck right now, I think this card is cool. It's been seeing play in Labyrinth, it's seeing play in some other trap decks as well. So like, if you want to have it just for its utility, you can do it. You can just snatch it up from Cyberstorm Access. It's a super rare, so you might even pull it and like have a couple of them already. Now this next one, Chaos Angel. It's one of these cards where you're gonna have to bite the bullet and get it. It's about 40 to 42 euros, but in my opinion, looking at some of the dope synchro monsters we've had printed in the last couple of years, this price is only going to go up. You can see it over here, it's about 44 euros, and then it's slowly going up. And right now, if you see some of the printings down here, it's again about 44 euros. Going to 45 soon probably, so it is going to spike. It's an insane card, not only in Labyrinth, but many other decks that focus on synchro monsters specifically. So like, yeah, you're gonna have to get it if you want it. It kind of sucks, it is expensive, but it's really, really strong. So you can get it if you want. This next one, Time Tearing Morganite, I wanted to cover it because I feel like it has a lot of potential and it's only about €2. But still, if it proves itself to be extremely, extremely useful, I don't know if it's short printed or not, or how much the impact that is going to have. But since it is about €2, I don't know, I would probably just get it. If I see someone have it, just pick it up and use it in a deck like Flunder maybe, or like there's other usages for it, I'm sure. But it, like I said, it does seem like it has a ton of potential, and because it is fairly cheap still, I would probably get a couple copies. Then we have Ring of Worm. Now this one was about 11-12 euros, and then it went up, slowly down, going up again. So it is sort of steady around the 12 to 13 euro mark, but still I feel like if someone breaks this card, it is just going to go up. It has a ton of potential. Card really seems incredible, and like it is one of these ones where you're gonna have to spend the money and get it if you want to play it, but I feel like it's going to be worth it because it does bring a lot to the table. So I wanted to mention this card as well. And then moving on to Sprite Blue. Now this is something I don't think you should be investing into right now. If you look at blue right now, not right now, sorry, back then, about 17 euros, 20 euros, and then the spike is very much obvious over here. So, and I'm saying you probably shouldn't be investing into it because Power of the Elements didn't have a reprint confirmed for the Megatins. So it might happen that Sprite Blue actually gets a reprint even sooner. And since when Nationals conclude, there isn't a whole lot of season going on during the summer, you can just wait and get blue in like a random reprint because it probably is going to have one. Because this is just ridiculous. It's like 35 euros. Just because of the post-Banlist hype. So even if Sprite does have potential, because it does have it, I don't think you should be investing into it. And then we have Vicios. I wanted to cover it because, again, it's one of those things where you're going to have to get it if you want to play it, because Vicios, I think, are going to have a lot of impact. Dragon Link is going to be nice. Branded, very obviously, Vicios are great against Branded. If Sky Striker does make a resurgence, Vicios are going to help keep it sort of like contained. And then if MathMech decides to like have a variant and still see play in the meta, I think Vicios are going to be very useful. And just overall, they are good cards. You can't deny that. And still they haven't been hit. If you look at OCG, Vicios received a couple hits on the ban list. And like, yeah, it is probably something you should have invested in a bit sooner. But still, right now, if you want to get them, you're going to have to spend a bit of money, about 16 euros for a Magnamut. And Druid Swarm as well, it's about 5 euros or something. Then this next card actually is kind of interesting, and I wanted to cover it because it's about 5 euros. It's really cool to pick up because it has a nice effect that's going to be useful in this meta. Basically, it makes all of your stuff practically unaffected, and if you activate this in response to something, you get to banish the card. And Mirror Jade is going to be insane this format, so this is a great card to counter it with a deck like Marincess, a synchro-based strategy, and a lot of these decks are going to be popping up right now because the format is really fresh, and because the card is cheap, I figured I would mention it today. This next one is just Kaijus in general. Gamesteel is like the poster child of Kaijus because it has the lowest attack points, but it's like 7 euros, which is kind of annoying to have to spend that money to get Kaijus. But I think Kaijus are something you need to have right now, again, because the format is kind of fresh, undeveloped. You don't really know what people are going to be doing. The Arise Card Pass is still really strong. If people still do stuff with Pearly or some other decks, Kaijus are just going to be useful. So like you're going to have to spend money or pull them out of your bulk if you still have them. And then this next one is just Quick Launch. Quick Launch is about 2 euros and going up. And Chaos Space in the same vein is also about 2 to 3 euros. And if you're trying to invest in a Dragon Link deck right now, I get that the extra deck is a bit more expensive when it comes to the synchro stuff and like Bestial Lobelion and all of that, but you don't want to be spending extra money to get like Quick Launch, Chaos Space. So I wanted to draw your attention to these cards right now so you can get them while they are still like relatively cheap. And this last thing is just Vanadium cards. Now, I think there's potential in Vanadium. The support is cool and like they seem like a nice combo deck. They felt like they were kind of overshadowed by Super Heavy Samurai, and right now if Super Heavy Samurai doesn't prove itself to be useful and good in the next meta, I feel like people will just shift to Vanadium, and I think that these cards are going to go up if they prove themselves to be really, really nice, so you might want to invest into an engine if you have some money to spare. And that's pretty much going to be it for today. I know we covered a lot of cards, but hopefully some of this was interesting or useful to you. And like I said before, if you have any of your ideas, please feel free to share them in the comments down below. Like the video, sub, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.